Hello and welcome to another episode of The Distinguished Geek. So, we are almost a decade into Marvel's life and Timely Productions are at a crisis once again. This is 1947. So, Timely Productions made its name with superhero comics back in 1939, but by 1947, Timely Productions didn't have a name anymore. The Timely tag didn't really catch on, and the emblem was no longer on the comics. So Martin Goodman tried using a new corner logo that said a Marvel magazine, which appeared on the front cover of the Blonde Phantom, issue number 12 in the winter of 1946. It didn't work. So then Martin Goodman tried using a circular symbol that said Marvel Comic. And that didn't work either. So obviously we know that Marvel was successful in adopting its name, but this wouldn't happen until the early 1960s. So by the late 1940s, the comics had no name, and this wouldn't be rectified until the winter of 1951, when it went by the name of Atlas Comics, named after Martin Goodman's newsstand distribution company. So the comics had no name, and to top it all off, the comic was moving away from its classy heroes and following new trends such as crime comics. So the trend in crime comics was focusing on villains, the lawbreakers, rather than the lawmen. And the first superhero comic to go was the Submariner comic, which was retitled Official True Crime Cases Comics with issue number 24. Even the Wacky Duck comics became a crime series, Justice, with issue number 7. So in the April was the boom of teen comics. So just a year prior was the All Winners comics, which featured two adventures of the All Winners squad, featuring Captain America, the Submariner, and the Human Torch. But now the All Winners comics became All Teen comics, starring Patsy Walker, Georgie, and Willie. The good old days with the innocence of names. So other comics started to move into the teen humor genre. And so the Human Torch turned into Junior Miss. And two comics that regularly starred the Super Rabbit, Comedy Comics and Crazy Comics, became Margie Comics and Cindy Comics. Marvel Mystery Comics issue number 82 featured Namora. Now, on returning home to the Atlanteans, the Submariner found it was attacked by a band of criminals from the surface. Now, in the original story, in Marvel Comics issue number 1 in October 1939, the band of criminals had completely eradicated the Atlanteans. But in its retelling, Namor, the Submariner, and by the way, Namor is Roman spelled backwards, and his cousin, Aquaria Nautica Neptunia, of course, vowed to take vengeance against the criminals that had killed his father. Aquaria changed her name to Namora. Now, since Namor meant the avenging son, Namora was now the avenging daughter, and she would become Submariner's psychic, if you will, and accompany him on his adventures. So very much like Namor, Namora was a daughter of a human and an Atlantean, and she too had superhuman strength and could breathe on land and in water, and for a while she too had wings on her heels, which enabled her to fly. Namora was created by Ken Bold, but Bill Everett, the creator of the Submariner, later drew most of Namora's solo adventures. In the 1970s, Bel Everett would establish that Namora was murdered by the evil Lyra and gave birth to a daughter called Namorita, who would become Namora's prodigy. Later, artist and writer John Byron would reveal that Namorita was actually an altered clone of Namora rather than a child. And in 2007, Namora would turn up alive and well and became part of a new Marvel team called the Agents of Atlas, named after the Marvel's company name in 1951. In July, Captain America Comics issue number 63 was released. Now, apart from the Red Skull, there was only a few supervillains that were created in the 1940s, and there was even less that were memorable, with one exception: the Human Torch's foe, the Asbestos Lady. Wow, she's going to regret that later on in life. So the Asbestos Lady, she wore a flame-proof asbestos costume, and she carried a gun that fired bullets containing asbestos and a flamethrower, as you do. The following year, in the Human Torch issue number 30, the Human Torch met another villain called the Hyena, who I imagine must be a laughingstock. Timely's deal with Terrytoons that featured Mighty Mouse came to an end, and Mighty Mouse would reappear in Marvel's list in October 1990. So we're at that point once again, the question just for fun. And last week's question was, who is my favourite superhero? And the answer to that is Captain America. So well done once again to Chris Jones. You are on a roll. This is the third answer you got right in a row. So well done, that's quite an achievement. Okay, this week's question, just for fun may I add, is what breakthrough happened in this year? And I'll give you a clue. It involves speed. The movement, not the drug, by the way. If you leave the answer in the comments below, and once again I will feature the winner's name in next week's episode. Thanks guys for watching. Please leave me a like, share and subscribe, and please just let me know how you felt this video was. Thanks guys once again. Next week's episode, or next Sunday, will be 1948. I will also be doing another film review. I'm on holiday from tomorrow. I'm off to Cardiff to see Coldplay. Epic, cannot wait. But while I'm up there, I'm going to be watching Spider-Man. Can't wait. So once again, just like Wonder Woman, I will give you a review of the film, and once again, I will not give any spoilers because I'm not that mean. Okay guys, thank you once again. Have a great week, and I shall see you next week. Goodbye.
The